Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a while since we've been on and uploaded any videos or anything. We've been pretty busy with a bunch of stuff that just wasn't really anything that we wanted to film, but we're back in the shop tonight for a little bit. If you guys seen my post a couple days ago, we brought home another tractor that originally came out of the collection of a very dear friend of mine. And he passed away 5 years ago. And that M in the background you see right there was one of his originally. And my 57 Cub Lowboy was also his. But this one is a 1940 Farmall A. And as you can see, it's pretty well, it's a nice looking tractor. If you guys seen the community post that I made with the picture of it on the trailer, you can tell that it's pretty straight and pretty clean. It's been redone at some point in time in its life. This was actually supposed to be part 2. I came out here last night and started tearing into it a little bit. And I don't know if I didn't get the button hit to record or what, but a bunch of my footage did not get filmed. So this was supposed to be part 2, but I guess it'll be part 1. This is not going to be a restoration. This tractor looks pretty good as it is, and honestly, I just don't have the time or the funds to put into it to fully restore it. I'd like to, but I've still got the C that you guys remember it from 2 years ago. I guess it's been a year ago, I guess, since the C went down. Still need to get it put back together. I need to get a carburetor and a water pump ordered for that M back there. But I do want to get this one up and running. I don't think it'll take much. Last night, part of what I was trying to film and didn't get filmed, I pulled the oil pan off of it and found nothing to be concerned with. Had clean oil in it. A little black, but it wasn't full of sludge or anything. And whoever had this tractor, I never saw it run. The whole time I was helping Rodger, I never saw it run. I'm sure he had it running at some time, and he very well may have been the last one that serviced it. But they did use a Case IH oil filter when they serviced it last from the dealer. And when I pulled the oil cup off of it last night on the air breather, and most of these old tractors, I've had several of them, I've had to replace the oil cup on, because when I pulled the cup off, it had oil in it and had about that much dirt and sludge in the bottom of it. And when I cleaned all that crap out, it had rusted through and started leaking. But this one, I pulled the cup off, stuck my finger down in it, pulled the finger out, and there was clean, fresh oil dripped off of it. So this tractor's been taken pretty good care of. I'll go ahead and turn you around and we'll get a better look at it right quick, and then we'll start. We're going to put the pan back on tonight and get the radiator pulled off of it. I'll show you what I found on that. Being an early model tractor, I had an idea that I was hoping was going to work, and well, it's not. So we'll find a workaround, I guess. But anyway, I'll turn you around and we'll have a little better look at it. Anyway, there it is. I've already got the hood and the grill pulled off of it. Like I said, I did that last night. There, right there. As you can tell, it's been painted. There's a few dings in the hood, but hey, every one of them little dents and dings tells a story. But the manifold, I put the stack off the Farmall C on it when I brought it home just to see how it would look, and it didn't look right. Plus, it was sitting kind of crooked. Well, after I got the hood off, I see why. The threads had stripped out at some point in time in this manifold, and they just brazed the pipe back on, which, it worked, but I've got a new muffler coming for it from Steiner's, new radiator hoses, fan belt. It needs a carburetor. The carburetor that was on it was just plumb shot. So I've got another carburetor I'm going to put on it. But over there, right off the end of my finger by them empty Rock Auto boxes, is a brand new manifold for a C113 engine. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on here. And I've got the pipe coming from Steiner as well to go with the muffler. There is, as you can see, no electric start. This is hand crank only. No electric system at all. No battery, no lights, no nothing. Also, does not have a PTO or a belt drive. And one part of me kind of wants to leave it that way. I mean, it was Rodger's tractor, and all I really plan on doing with this is taking it to some shows, and I'm either going to have one of those little tractor badges made with his name on it and in memory of him, or my mom and my sister both have the machine to make vinyl stickers. I may have one of them make me a sticker for the top of the fuel tank or something that, in his memory, and just take it to shows. And I maybe one of the shows we go to, if they're plowing, I might hook a little one bottom plow on it and play with it a little, but for the most part, it's just going to be just a show and parade tractor, just something to have fun with. But if I do decide that I ever want to mow with it or anything like that, right behind me here is the old carcass of another A that has a good PTO and belt drive on it. So I might put that on there. I'm not real sure yet. Anyway, let's get you guys set up on the tripod, and I've already got all the bolts for the oil pan cleaned up. Got the threads all cleaned up on them, new lock washers stuck onto them, and kind of thinking when I leave here tonight I might ought to go buy a lottery ticket, because I've got bags of bulk hardware over there. I just walked over to the bag with all the quarter-inch lock washers in it and grabbed a handful of them, come over here and set them on the footrest, and went to cleaning them up and putting on there. I grabbed the exact amount I needed out of that bag and that handful, so I might need to go buy a lottery ticket tonight. But anyway, let's get you guys set up. We'll get this oil pan put back on. So let's get started. Okay guys, excuse the mess in the background. That's all the stuff for the sea that we need to get back onto someday. But we've got the oil pan. I took it to work with me this morning, ran it through the parts washer, cleaned it all up. I'll throw a picture in here right quick of what it looked like when we pulled it off. Like I said, there wasn't any sludge or anything in it, just a little bit of dirty oil. But there was no water, no coolant, nothing like that in it. Looking down in the radiator, I think before it was parked, I think they drained all the coolant out of it, because I didn't see any in there. So I'm hoping that that's not a sign that when we put coolant in it that we're going to get water down in the oil. As actually, the guy that I ended up getting this tractor from, he bought a bunch of Rodger's tractors and bought his shop and everything. And one of the other tractors that he had bought was a little International AI, and it had a O-ring on one of the cylinder liners, number 2 cylinder, I believe it was leaking. And so last weekend we done a full end frame overhaul on it, put new pistons and cylinder liners, bearings, all that good stuff in it. And I helped him with that, and then I'm gonna help him put a cub back together, and he gave me this tractor for doing that. So anyway, I've got, some people like to use it, some don't. I've got some of this Permatex aviation sealer. I just like to put a real thin layer on the pan side of these, and just kind of helps hold that gasket in place until we can get it up under the tractor. And I don't put any on the gasket side going up to the block, because if you ever have to take it back off, it makes it a booger. But anyway, I just like to paint a real thin layer, and it doesn't take much. Just kind of a real thin little layer all the way around this. And this stuff is sticky. But it sure makes it nice to be able to hold that gasket in place. said I won't put any on the other side because I may have to pull it back off someday. I don't really like having to chisel them and pry them off of there. Stuff stinks too. I don't know if this is the right way or the wrong way to do it, but this is the way I do it. If I don't have any of this handy, I will use a little bit of ultra gray RTV. Put a real thin layer on there just to kind of hold it. You don't want to get much on there because this stuff, it will make a mess. You see I've got it on my finger now. I'm pretty excited to have this old tractor in the collection. I've always wanted a little Farmall A anyway, and then this one being that it came out of Rodger's collection just makes it even that much more special. So I need to get back busy right after we started this channel. In fact, you guys, if you go back and watch the very first video we put up, just kind of our introduction video, you can see my Cub Lowboy in the background of that video, sitting behind me where I was sitting. And shortly after that, we took it to a little one-day show, and then I brought it home, and I decided that before we took it to the next show, I was gonna take it all apart and repaint it. Well, I got it apart, found a seeping head gasket and leaking final drives and a few other minor issues that needed to be solved. So we've got a whole list of stuff we need to get ordered for it, and it's going to get just gone through all the way. The engine on it has already been rebuilt, and I think what happened with that head gasket was whoever rebuilt it, I don't think they ever ran it after they rebuilt it. And then I got it running, drove it around a little, and I had not been aware that it had been rebuilt. So I did not worry about or even think about going in and retorquing the head bolts after the fact. Yeah, you can see that crap runs down all over everything. Used a little out of one of the bolt holes there. All right, we will turn you guys back around and we'll get this pan put on. See, that just kind of, putting that sealer on there just kind of helps that pan gasket stick. And if any of you guys are doing this gasket, I don't know if any of you guys have a car quest around. This is one I've had forever, but right there's the part number if you guys need the part number for a pan gasket for a C113 or C123 international engine. Be the engine used on your Farmall A, B, and C, as well as the Super A and Super C. The C123 would be used in the Supers. So anyway, we'll get you turned back around and let's put this pan on. And I do think it's worth noting also, if you pull a pan off one of these, you'll notice that there are two different lengths of bolts. There's a short one and there's a longer one. You'll have 4 of the long ones and the rest of them will all be the shorter ones. And the 4 longer ones go in these 2 holes here and the corresponding 2 holes on the front of the pan. Right there and right there. They go up in there, and the rest of them are all the short bolts. So just, if you pull it apart and then realize that, oh crap, I didn't pay attention to where those come out of, that's where they come out of. So anyway, and then like I said, the rest of the bolts are all short bolts. Put one on the other side to hold it, then we can put all of them in. Hopefully the tractor gods are not too displeased with me right now. Mike, if you're watching this, you'll probably get a chuckle out of this, and I'm probably going to hear about it. But we're working on an international tractor, and we're using John Deere tools. So hopefully the tractor gods aren't too displeased with us over that. Well, old Butterfingers here will quit dropping the bolt. Okay guys, we're back to torque these now. I brought you around to the other side so you can see this bolt right here is the one I was talking about that you can't get on with a socket. You've got to use a wrench. So, well, I say that. Actually, with a 1/4 inch short socket, I guess you can get on it. I had a 3/8 deep last night. I couldn't get on there, so. And I'm torquing these to normally about 10 foot-pounds, but we using this 1/4 inch drive inch-pound torque wrench, so we got it set at 120 inch-pounds, which would be the same as 10 foot-pounds. I'm just going to start right over here in the middle. Work my way out, crisscrossing back and forth. And then we'll go around all of them again. Just to double check. And then after we get it running, we will also go back in and retorque them again after it runs and warms up and cools down. That one I needed to go to next. Okay, you guys get the idea. I'm gonna turn this off, go around them all one more time, and then we'll move back up top and do something else. Okay guys, we got the oil pan put back on, torqued in place. Everything's good down there. Still need to put the cover, the dust cover back on over the bottom of the bell housing. I want to go ahead and get this radiator off so I can show you what I found on it, and we can get it ready to take to somebody that can hopefully solve our problem. If not, I may be on the hunt for a radiator. But anyway, let's go ahead and get that pulled off. And as you can see, it's not even bolted right here because this bracket does not line up. And that comes into play with what I found right here. So I'll just bring you guys around here right quick. You can kind of see it. Something has been dropped or hit at one point in time. And this whole piece right here is heaved out. And it's also split right here, which I know a radiator shop can fix that, but we'll get more on that here in a minute. And also back right about in here on the back side is a big old booger that has been fixed, but I thought I had a better option, but I found out last night that it's not gonna work. So, and you can tell right here too, this has all been heaved in. And the hood and grill on this corner right here never did fit right. Hopefully we can remedy that. Anyway, let's grab a screwdriver, get the hose clamps loose. Hoping there's no coolant in it. It doesn't appear that there is. I want to get this radiator off and get it up to the That's interesting. That old clamp's been on there long enough. I went down and screw it, and the old screw just screwed out of it. That one's working like it should. Whoever painted this, they just painted over the hoses, the clamps, everything. Probably end up just cutting that hose. I've got new ones coming, so. Yeah, we'll probably just cut that hose. Okay, let's get the lower one. It's coming loose like it's supposed to. That's a good sign. Get get out of my light here so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to have coolant come out. I can already tell. Yep, there it goes. Right into the oil pan. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Hey, it's got antifreeze in it. Let's get a different bucket. Okay, well, while that drains, we will move on to something else. That makes me feel better though. That means that there is coolant in the engine block, which tells me that those cylinder liner O-rings are not leaking, so that's a good thing. Okay, well, while we're waiting on that to drain, because I'm not real sure, it almost looks like there's a cork shoved in that. I don't really want to pull it out right now, so let's pull the air breather off and we'll go ahead and get this old manifold off in preparation for the new one. We'll just let that drain for a little bit. Now it's going to run down the axle there and run all over the floor. Wouldn't have to take this off, but if we can just get it out of the way, it'd be a lot better. That's a factory international bolt. All the oil pan bolts were too. Oh, just a little bit longer extension right there. Thread those back in the hole they belong in for now so I don't lose them. The air breather out of the way. Alright, those all came off without too much of a fight. Came loose without a fight anyway. Those look like fairly new gaskets. pretty sure that this tractor did not have a lot of hours on it since it's been gone through. Because those appear to be fairly new. Yeah, I don't think it's got many hours on it at all. As clean as it was inside. But I've got new gaskets to go with that new manifold. We're not going to put it on tonight. I just want to test fit and make sure that it's going to fit, and it does. Probably, I don't have any tonight out here. I'd paint it, get some high temp paint, and we'll paint that dude, make it look a little better than that just raw finish on there. But I think that's going to help with the appearance of that tractor, having the muffler be straight on it. So, okay, now that I done made a huge mess all over the floor, this radiator drain right here, somebody, and for all I know, this may be a factory deal, I don't know on these early models, but somebody shoved a cork up in there, and I can almost feel a little thread, like maybe the threads were stripped out and they just shoved a cork up in there to stop it. But somewhere off of that A parts tractor, I've got another one of these, but I, for the life of me, cannot find it, but I will keep looking. So anyhow, now that we've got a huge mess all over the floor, let's finish getting this radiator pulled off of here tonight. And that'll probably be about as far as we get. For tonight, anyway. Nut on this side just barely had any threads hanging on. Okay. Like I said, we got new hoses coming anyway, so what did I just drop? Oh, the bolt out of that old hose clamp. stubborn and be stuck down in there too. Old hoses have been on there for several years. Grody. Gently pry that up just a little. There we go. There. Okay. Now before we get another radiator put back on here, I'm going to take this outside and we'll stick a garden hose in right here and flush any of that old rust and grody crap out of there. But show you guys what I discovered when I was thinking I had a fix for that. As you can see, this radiator has got a big old hole right here, and I think it's been fixed and I think it would run, but this top tank is also caved way in. That's got this heaved in, it's got that heaved out. But if you notice, this right here is my new Record radiator that I had on the shelf that fit an A. And as you can tell, they're different. This tractor here is a early model, 1940, March of 1940, I do believe, actually. And it uses the, I think they're called Zeus fasteners that go in here, little quarter turn fasteners that hold the hood and grill on. And they're also, there's a bracket there for them. I'm hoping, I've got a guy in another town about 30, 45 miles away. He's up in his 90s and he's got a radiator shop up there, and I'm hoping he can take that radiator, the tank and the core and all that, and swap these side pieces over. Other than that, everything else on these are the same, except for this panel right here. And it's bolted here, and then I think it's soldered on right there. So I'm hoping he can take these two radiators and make me one good one with these brackets, because the only other workaround for that is to get all new sheet metal, which I do not want to do, and get the newer style and use a newer style fuel tank, which I do have. I've got two of them back there, I think. I know I've got one for sure that come off this parts tractor. But I don't really want to do that. I want to keep it all original 1940 equipment. So I'm hoping he can work his magic on this and make this work. And if he can't, I guess I'll be on the hunt for an early model radiator that can be Record, because this one, the top tank, like I said, you can see it there, it's just heaved in, and I don't know what got dropped on this tractor at one time, but or what they hit with it. Somebody might have hit something with it, but if it was just something I was going to work around here with, I'd almost be inclined to pour more coolant in that, see if it doesn't leak, and just run with it. But it makes it where that hood and grill doesn't line up like it should, and I want it to be done right. So I'm gonna take these 2 radiators to town with me this weekend, and Monday or Tuesday I'm gonna run them up to him and see if he can work his magic on it and make them work. So anyway, that'll be part 1 of the Farmall A revival. I think we're gonna call it quits for tonight. I need to go to town tomorrow and get some high temperature paint for that manifold. We can get it painted, and right here behind me I've got a full top end gasket kit that's got new exhaust and intake manifold gaskets in it, as well as a new head gasket if we were to need it. I don't think we will, but parts I ordered from Steiner should be here, I think Monday or Tuesday, I'm hoping. So then we can get all the fan belt and all that put back together. Hopefully I can find out something from Merle on this, and he can do something about that. We can get that going. Get a radiator put back on it. I'll find that other coolant outlet. If not, I'll get on eBay or somewhere and find one. So yeah, that'll be part 1. And if you guys like this video, hit the like button. And if you're not already and you want to see more of bringing Rodger's old 1940 Model A back to life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. Hit the bell next to it. You'll see when we post new videos. So I'm going to get cleaned up and head home, find something to eat. So we'll see y'all next time.